All right, broadcasting live from the food capital of America, Chicago, Illinois. Heard on great affiliates around the country and worldwide on the internet is Restaurant Radio with Dane Neal and Tom Rebeletti. And Tom, in the studio with us again, we've got Sharon Myers and Robert Scarola. Cuisine Scene, guys, welcome to the show.
Hola.
Hola!
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's been a year since we saw that.
It feels like it.
It does.
It feels like it. Hola! Now, this has been an international show. Deb Henke from the Daily Herald traveled all the way to the Yucatan. Is it Yucatan?
Yes.
I said Yucatan a few times. I got scolded. I know nothing about anything, I guess, that extends beyond Berwyn or something.
Yes, right.
Nobody agree with that. And today what we're going to do is we're going to travel with you guys to some of the people and the products of Spain and then places right here in our backyard where we can get them.
Absolutely. We're going to España today.
Well, let's do it, man. Looks good.
Here's the deal. Actually, Sharon's going to tell us a little bit about why the restaurant Mercat, that is Jose Garces' restaurant, Province, which is Randy Zweiban's restaurant, and also Fronteras Grill, which is top chef Rick Bayless's restaurant, what they have in common. So Sharon's going to share with us what they have in common today.
Well, they're all in Chicago, and they're all using products from JDY Meat, which is Spain. It's all about Spain. So we're talking about Spanish products today, from really interesting meats to cheeses to olive oils, and then very reasonably priced wines.
Now,
all
sure.
from Spain.
Do you think that people, maybe in the area that they don't know enough about Spain and things that are maybe, Spanish food that are really just indigenous to the country of Spain, I think there's a lot of education that has to happen.
Well, part of the reason why Spain has kind of gone undiscovered for so long is because of the Franco regime. For about 50 years, that was a protected state. They could only deal within their own country. So all these marvelous products were never let out of the country until very recently.
Wow.
And when they hit the markets, first of all, they were inexpensive. They had developed some wonderful meats, cheeses, olive oils, wines. We even have wine today from Spain. All very reasonably priced, but rival many of the other European nations' foods, such as Italy and France and Germany and whatnot. So that's what's happened here. And Tom's already reaching for a slice of the manchego.
So great stuff, just lack of access and lack of marketing.
Exactly. Well, they weren't releasing the products, and now they are.
Well, and there's another element, and that's cultural identity. Spain is a big country with lots of microclimates, and so we have specialty food, olive oil, and even wine
Very
products
nice.
from various geographic areas.
What do
That's
you
the manchego.
The manchego cheese.
Very
That's
nice.
a sheep's milk cheese. And again, JDY Meat has put these products out there, and a lot of these great chefs like Rick Bayless and Randy Zweiban and Jose Garces are grabbing up these ingredients. First of all, they're more reasonably priced. They're fascinated by the flavors that they deliver, and they're introducing them on their menus. And these are restaurants that every one of your listeners can go to. And there's a lot more restaurants that are doing Spanish style cuisine.
What am I having here, Robert? This is,
That's fuet.
Yeah.
That's a Catalanian kind of sausage, right? And
Is
it's
it
just got a different kind of marbling from
Wow.
other sausages. Yeah.
Very
Is
nice.
Catalonia, is it a city, is it a region, is it
It's
a
a
type of
region.
animal?
it's a person.
Catalonia
it's a
is a
girl.
region.
Mary.
I had a Catalonian.
That's
There's too much shedding.
Wow, that
It's
is
north
nice.
of Madrid, gentlemen. Yeah.
Very
and
lean,
it isn't
very
region.
nice,
That's right.
flavorful.
Yeah, and people can find these things in Fox and Obel. They can go to Whole Foods. They can even find these things at Dominic's. These are the kinds of stores that are now stocking fabulous wines from Spain as well as manchego. I mean, manchego cheese is essentially the Parmigiano Reggiano of Spain. Now, I think we've got a challenge here that Tom has already put down the gauntlet on, and
Let's
that's
see.
about this wonderful meat that Sharon's going to tell you about.
And this meat is Iberico. Iberico is the name in Spain for pig, and it has a different kind of marbling. These are pigs that are free-range pigs.
Wow.
They have 1.5 acres per pig to roam.
Wow.
So the marbling is even. It accrues fat in a different way from other kind of meats, and it is now available in Chicago.
No, I'm gonna
through
tell you.
JDY.
What do you think?
I'm going to be honest.
What do you
This
think?
is tender and more flavorful than the prosciutto. I just had
Prosciutto
prosciutto
di
for
Parma.
lunch. I really did. All kidding aside, this is a little bit more tender and a little bit more flavorful.
Italy is nervous about Spain because, and you're seeing a bottle right here in the studio of this wonderful. What's this called again? This olive oil. You know what this is called.
This is the Castillo de Canania.
I just like the way she says it.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Anyway, I actually knew
Sounds
what it was.
almost nasty.
It does. But
It's actually very organic, gentlemen. It is green. If you taste it like this, neat.
taste it like Sharon's showing you.
It tastes like tomato vines.
Doesn't it taste like green
It's
tomatoes?
a first
Oh, it
press.
does.
Yeah, it tastes like green tomatoes.
Fantastically different. Do you know that
Wow,
most
that is great.
Put it on a salad. That sort of thing.
Put on a
But-
pasta.
But there's an amazing statistic that guess what country buys more olive oil from Spain than any other?
Italy.
You got it,
amazing?
buddy.
Why
Amazing.
is that? Is it because they have
Cheaper.
well? Is it just cost? Is it just
It's
price?
cost, but it's a fleshier kind of olive. It's a less salty olives that most everybody likes. Right? It just
Now
creates a
that goes
different
back
crust.
to, remember the show we talked about when it says either packaged in Italy or made in Italy?
There you
They're
go.
really different.
And the
Exactly.
difference is they buy it from there and they package it in Italy. So
Or
they
they
can
just import
advertise it as an
You know what I can
item.
compare it to is, you know the stat, Sharon. There's about 52 wineries in the state of Illinois, I think, right? The state of Illinois doesn't produce a grape yet. It still has to import the grapes, but they make the wine here. So it's kind of the same
Sure.
thing that's going on.
I got to tell you, what you think? Isn't that great?
Well, I thought the prosciutto was great. I thought it was
Flavor,
fantastic.
Texture, very tender.
It's more like meat and less like lunch meat than a lot of the prosciutto.
It's a whole
is.
different
Now,
taste
what's
and
this
texture.
cheese? The second one.
Okay, that's it. Idiazabal, it's called. Try that one too. By the way, we can all thank JD Wine Meat for being one of the sole importers of this.
Wow.
in
And that's
Chicago
how we're
area.
receiving it, not through Italy, directly from Spain through JDY.
And I got to
as an
tell the
importer.
listeners too, is the cheeses. And before we let you guys go, of course, you're going to give where they can get it. Some of the restaurants, obviously,
Yeah,
where people can
absolutely.
get some of the stuff, but also some of the sites and
Wow.
stores where people may be able to order because
Absolutely.
the cheeses are. I mean, good cheese and cheese are two completely different things. And these cheeses, I mean, the taste is subtle, but there is such a unique taste that comes right after it. That is really. I mean, it's a pleasure. to eat.
This one I really prefer.
Idiazabal
What-
is
what-
really interesting.
it's got
It's
it-
smoky,
yeah.
Tom, because it's
manly.
actually smoked in birch or cherry wood.
And it goes
The
good with white
local
wine
brand.
too.
Oh yeah, and take a sip of this white wine that's in front
Talk
of you,
about that,
called Protocolo. Again, I'll tell you, the two bottles of wine I have in here, one's called Protocolo, the other one is called Monte Otan, and that's a red Ganache. The two wines both retail for under $7 a bottle, and they're, what do you think?
This white, and I'm not a white
It's
wine
killer.
drinker. This is very
Yeah,
nice,
it's
very
a-
smooth, flavorful. Goes great with this cheese. I
It's
just
great
took a
with this
little-
food. It's nice just without food even.
Let me also pass something along to your listeners. Drink white wine with cheese as opposed to red wine, because cheese has a natural film that gets on the tongue, and it kind of actually obscures red wine flavor, whereas white wine makes it pop. So drink white wine with cheese rather than go to the red wine with cheese.
That's why if you're at a restaurant and a guy goes, "Phew," spits
Yeah.
something out, he's got red wine in his mouth. He's drinking.
Is that- is that what
That's
that-
You should be
exactly what
switching
it
to
is.
white
That's
wine.
right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or you're sitting next to a real rude guy. One or the two.
Not only advice on places, but the products, but also how to
Very
eat
good.
some ways to enjoy them even better. So, guys, let's get to some of the places where
Absolutely.
you can get the thing, both in the restaurant setting, in the store, and even online.
Again, we talked about Mercat, which is at 638 South Michigan, in the Blackstone Hotel, a beautiful restaurant.
Wow, it's been a while, yeah.
Province, which is at 161 North Jefferson, and of course, you know, Rick Bayless's favorite and famous place, Fronteras Grill, which is at 445 North Clark. Those are just three. You can go online, just put SpanishRestaurantsChicago.com, and you'll find plenty of what's going on out there. Store-wise, it's Fox and Nobel if you're in the city.
And Whole
It's Whole
Foods.
Foods and Dominic's. Ask at Dominic's. You'll see some of these Spanish products at Dominic's now.
I go to Whole Foods. I'm going to check this out. Especially this cheese. That was very good.
Idiazabal.
Very, very. I mean, I really impressed with it. Very. And the oil. I was very.
Pronounced.
Olive oil. You know, one of our advertisers is the Olive Tap, and I was there not too long, and I tasted like 28 different oils,
Yeah.
and each one had their uniqueness to it.
Doesn't this
Yeah.
taste like the garden?
Right
It's
in there.
fantastic. I love the red bottle of it.
Great looking
Yeah,
bottle.
unusual.
Well, another journey we have taken with Cuisine Scene, chaired by Robert Scarola. We have tasted. I feel like we've been
I feel I'm
to
going.
Spain.
I'm leaving right after
and it
here.
can continue, right? Because all this stuff is available in our backyard. Chair Myers, Robert Scarola, Cuisine Scene. Thanks so much for being in Restaurant
Hasta la
Radio.
vista.
Our pleasure. Gracias.
Hasta la vista.
Hey, that's like the term.
That's at the Tornator.